Greetings, peoples of YouTube. I am back with, this time, a computer-related video. Now, unfortunately, due to certain issues around the world and the fact that energy prices are absolutely skyrocketing at the moment, I have had to downgrade our home server. This is mostly because it's on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, burning electricity, and electricity is getting expensive. So what I've got is this little BOSCH micro server. This thing started out life effectively as a dedicated CCTV unit, but is easily converted to just a straight up home server. Now it's running a second generation Core i3. I don't remember the exact model of it. I will put the exact specifications in the description below, however. It came originally with 4 gig of RAM, it currently has 16 in it. It does run at a maximum of 1333 at the moment due to the limitation on the CPU, but I am looking at an upgrade. And, well, that's about it, really. In terms of dedicated graphics, it just has the straight up Intel HD 2000 that's built into the CPU. Again, CPU upgrade will upgrade that as well. Not that it really matters, this thing mostly just runs headless anyway. But we're going to take a little look at a couple of little upgrades that I'm going to do, and a really weird expansion card that's in it. First thing that we're going to need is a screwdriver, because we're going to pop the cover off here in a moment. Now, how I've got this configured is I've got 3 bays here with large mechanical hard drives in them. This top one has got a 500 gig Samsung Evo 800 something SSD in it. I can't remember again exactly what it is. Doesn't matter. But what we're going to do is we're going to put in a hard drive adapter. And we're also going to put in a USB 3 card, which has also got USB Type-C on it as well. And the reason I want to use the USB Type-C is because I also have one of these with a 1 terabyte NVMe drive in it. Unfortunately, the camera is slightly off. I do apologise, but it's the only way I can kind of get any sort of shot on here. So let's get this thing open. Now the first thing we're going to do is turn it round. The exact specification number for those who want to look up the server, it's a BOSCH Divar, which is D-I-V-A-R, IP 3000. So if you feel like you want to look that up, be my guest. It will probably tell you a lot more than I can. The machine is a little dirty at the moment, but when I've done the upgrade and whatnot, I will take the opportunity to clean it. So there's 3 screws on the back, which are these 3. I'll move that out the way as well. And then this one. I have swapped out the original fan in there because it sounded like a freaking jet engine. It's got a Corsair fan in there, which is a 120mm airflow fan, so it's fairly quiet as well. Take the lid off, and here we are. One little micro server that needs cleaning. Flip it round. There we are. Now what we're going to do, first of all, before we tackle the expansion card, I'm going to get this SSD out. Hopefully I can get it. There we go. There we are. It's a Samsung 850 Evo 500 gig. There we are. This drive is also in perfect health as well, and has run really well as a server drive, to be honest. So first things first, we'll pop out the drive caddy, and I'll put that little retainer back in the position it's supposed to be in, with a little bit of brittle plastic as well. That's always fun. There we go. So, do I recommend the parts that I bought? I don't know really. I just bought them because they were cheap and they seem to do the job. But there we are. The Amazon listing for this is a bit deceptive because it looks like it's aluminium, but actually this entire thing is just plastic. So just off camera, well, I'll try and do it on camera, but I'm going to fit this SSD just like this somehow. Let's try a bit of mechanical force to get that in. There we are. That's in nice and snug. It has also come with a bunch of screws for the for the drive to be fitted in, and also for the caddy to be fitted into a PC. But I only need the small screws. I mean, to be honest, with the amount of mechanical pressure that's actually got, I don't even think I need the screws anyway, but hey ho. Let's get that one in there. That one is secure as well. I could get away with just having the 2 screws. I mean, it's not a mechanical drive. To be honest, I don't think it would be going anywhere, but if you've been given the things, why not use them, I suppose. And the last screw in there. Okay, so that's that done. Now it's time to fit it into the caddy. So just like that, and then those snap into there, and I can slide that into the machine and lock it in place. There we are. That's a much more elegant solution, and it means that if I need to take the drive out for whatever reason, instead of having to tear apart the entire machine, I can now just pop the caddy out, just like that. There we are. Now, onto the weird expansion card. So, what I'm going to replace it with is this, which I've explained already what it is. Also comes with a low profile bracket, which is what I needed, and some screws. And there it is in its plastic bag. There we are, ULS-UP3140, but there is the card. And it doesn't require independent power, so I can imagine that, to be honest, it's not going to charge anything, not that I'd need that on the server anyway, but at the same time, I don't think I'd be able to use all the USB ports at the same time due to power limitations. I can't imagine it's going to allow me to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to change the bracket. Hopefully I can do this nice and quickly. Again, apologies for the camera angle. I would like something a bit more centered, but it's a little bit too difficult with my current position that I'm in. So that's that replaced. Onto there. Hopefully if I can get my sausage fingers in there, I should be able to get these screws put in. That one's a little difficult to do. There we go. Make sure that they are nice and tight, because I don't want it going anywhere. So there we are. That's what it looks like as a half height. Nice. Now onto this. So it's just a single screw on the back, just holds the card that's in there with mechanical pressure, and out pops the card. Now, Bosch have said when this machine is initially set up, it has to use the VGA port. It can't use the DVI port that's on this card. Until Windows is fully installed, it boots up, then apparently it kicks in. It's just a really weird little thing. It has a single USB 3 port on it as well. Yeah, look at that. Very strange. It's running a DisplayLink DL-3500. So hopefully you should be able to get a clear view of this. Yeah, the new cameras on my iPhone 12 Pro are a lot better than my old 6S. So there we are. There's the card that we are replacing. It's a bit of a weird thing, isn't it? There we are. For anybody who wants to attempt to look this thing up. I believe it is 16 meg, I think. But I'm not entirely sure. I don't really remember. I only used it for the USB 3 port anyway. So in goes our new USB 3. That's slotted straight in very nicely. I do, however, think I've got a small problem with USB clearance. That does not look particularly amazing. That looks like I may have to shave out some of the metal on the chassis. Great. Okay. Looks like it's Dremel time. I'll be back in a moment. And it seems that Dremel time may not be strictly necessary. So it turns out that I can indeed plug stuff in perfectly fine. I can't really see the top port from the position that I'm in. But yeah, okay, that seems like it is actually okay. So there we are. That's that done. Now what I'm going to go and do is get all the driver and everything installed on that and get my server back into a working state. One final thing that I wanted to mention, actually, and I think I've made a bit of a mistake installing that card first. Let me just take it out because it only takes a couple of seconds. There's another interesting thing that I want to show you in regards to this from when it was in its original configuration, which I have disabled this functionality. I'll show you how. So let's just take that card back out for a moment. So inside the machine, which you're not going to be able to see amazingly well, there's this bracket just here, which is next to the CPU. And it has an internal USB header. Now if I pop this out, which is a single screw, there we are, it comes out as some weird proprietary board, which I've still yet to figure out exactly what it does. Looks like it's some sort of wireless module of some nature, but there is no wireless connectivity. But it also has on the back of it effectively a USB flash module. The flash memory is under there, if you can just about see it. It's just under there. This contains a completely original version of the Windows operating system that ran on this machine, with all of the pre-configured software and everything. If you plug this into the machine, and the machine knows that it doesn't have the original hard drive installed or the original operating system installed, this, without any BIOS messing around, automatically kicks in and completely wipes and reconfigures and reinstalls the entire machine back to factory settings. I found that very, very interesting. Now, I don't use it at all, but I am leaving it in the machine just in case it's ever needed for anything in the future. I'd rather it be in there and disabled than it go missing, because you never know. In the future, I might want to sell this machine. It might go on to somebody who wants to, you know, reinstall it back to its completely original settings. And if so, well, it's better not to deprive them of the ability to have the machine exactly as it would have come out of the factory. So that's one of the reasons why I'm leaving it in there. I can't imagine me dumping it to like archive.org or something like that is actually going to be of any use to anyone, but if there's such a need for it, I can always do it in the future. But there we are, upgrade complete. There is my little micro server with a few bits of broken plastic, and I shall now put this all back together and get it back in operation. Thanks very much for watching. Comment, subscribe and all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one.